Hey everybody, it's Master Alan. As you can see, I am filming from my car because this is the closest thing to a sound studio we have at the dojo. And I am going to give you guys a quick run through of the steps and method for Level Up Your Summer so you guys can do it at home. So parents, this video is mostly for you. I recommend that you watch it before executing Level Up Your Summer with your quester. And so from this point on, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever you are doing Level Up Your Summer with your little, you guys are now the quest giver. And that's kind of the goal of this, is to be the person that helps them kind of make their to-do list, so to speak, and gives them sort of the feeling of being connected to their responsibilities and their goals and their skills, so that they think about working on them and accomplishing them on their own, and they have an accountability that comes through themselves as well as through you. So then, rather than them, waiting to hear you say it for a third time before they do something, it's something that happens a little bit more from their own decision, because that's really what we want to accomplish with self-discipline. We want it to be them choosing to do the thing that they already know they're supposed to do without having to be reminded, without having to be nagged, without having to be pushed. We want to get them to sort of accomplish it on their own and use a structure that's going to get them to do that consistently. All right, so here we go. Step one. Step one is the quest log. Okay, so one of the things that I really encourage for parents is to think about doing the system a little bit along with your questers. So if you're doing Level Up Your Summer along with them and you're talking to them about your goals and talking to them about your responsibilities and sort of keeping track of it and stuff like that, then it helps them feel like it's something that's a little bit more real rather than something that's just for kids. Because the idea of being organized in what you want to accomplish there's not really an age for that, and there's not a limitation in that way. So the quest log is where you are going to keep track of the stuff that you need to get done on a daily or weekly basis, or even monthly. All right, now for the kids, I really want them to kind of think about it as equal parts journal, to-do list, sort of a place where they keep a lot of thoughts and information that they've gained. So later on, in some of the later steps, they're going to be doing some goal setting. They're going to be doing some thinking about the skills that they want to develop and nurture. And so in the process of doing their goal setting and in the process of accomplishing some of their goals, they're going to find things that they need to write down, and whether it's information that they want to keep or details about things, whatever. It gives them a place to kind of house some of that stuff. And so then the goal becomes, not only are they kind of choosing where they're spending their time a little bit more thoughtfully and a little bit more mindfully, they're also being more mindful in how they keep information and how they keep themselves organized. Now, for some people, doing this kind of stuff digitally, like having having a personal calendar digital rather than something that's written, is a lot easier. And so, like, if kids end up doing this digitally, that's fine. Personally, I'm a lot better with pen and paper. I think a lot better that way. I stay organized better that way. So that works better for me. But ultimately, this is about what's going to be the best for the individual, our quester and our quest givers. You could do all of this stuff basically with a poster board on their door. So it's kind of up to you. All right. So now, quest log, stuff about the quest log. It needs to be something where they can put information in it, take information out of it, and it's got to be fairly rugged, because the idea is it's something that they bring around with them. All right, now I'm going to show you how we want to list our quests so that it's something that they're ready to kind of tackle, and then you can decide what's going to be the right thing. Now, something I want to encourage everybody towards as they do this is have everything as the minimum possible startup cost. So rather than going out and buying a quest log, rather than going out and finding a really, really cool journal with a really complicated cover and like embossed letters or whatever, okay, start with look for a notebook that has a bunch of blank pages in it that's left over from a class earlier that year or the year before. Okay, and pull out all the stuff that's not important and use the blank paper. Okay, start out minimally expensive, and then if it's something that they stick with, if it's something that they maintain and progress, then getting a quest log that they like better becomes a part of the reward system later on. Like if they stick with Level Up Your Summer for 2 weeks and keep track of their stuff and are doing a good job with their self-discipline, then would spend $5, get a notebook specifically for it, and then take some time to kit the thing out and make it look cool. All right. But the idea with this is have everything start out at the very minimum until you're able to prove, or they're able to prove, that it's something that they really, really invested in emotionally before you invest in any money in. And when we get to the reward section, we'll talk more about that. So I've got a couple of examples I'm going to show you of quest logs that I've used or we're going to sort of dress up for our purposes. All right, so about your quest log, I've got a couple of examples of quest logs that we've put together for this. All right, now you might, just as simple as taking the Sharpie to the cover of a notebook, or you might give your quest a title. Okay, so it might be the awesome adventure of legendary awesomeness or whatever. Okay, I also recommend after you've got a quest log that you're using for a little bit that you get your name in it or contact information in case you leave it somewhere by accident, and then somebody can take care of you. Okay, now there's a couple of different ways that you can prep your quest sheet, and we're going to do that next. All right, so now we are going to get into our quest log and make an example quest sheet, okay, or at least part of it. So let's say we're going to use as an example making the bed. All right, and so there was a Navy Admiral McCraven, who said that if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. So let's say make the bed is one of our quests. All right, now let's say that's something that we are going to do 5 days a week as our target, or 7, or whatever. If it's an everyday thing, maybe we put 7 boxes down here. All right. Now, as you accomplish this each day during the week, it's up to you to fill the thing in. So let's say I just want to do that when I get it, or maybe I do a check mark. Or maybe I do a little smiley face. Or maybe I fill in the whole block. Or maybe I turn it into a little robot. Whatever, okay? It's your quest sheet, and so you get to fill it out however you want to. And so some tasks are going to be everyday things, okay? And it's up to you if every day means 5 blocks or 7 blocks. That's a discussion you guys want to have together, all right? And some things, like maybe mowing the lawn, is on our list. And it's only got 1 box. Now, when I started doing this, I would list my quests like this, where I would have the quest on top and the blocks underneath. As I've gotten deeper and deeper into it, I have more and more things that I'm tracking and more things that are on my sheet each week. And so what I've started doing is putting the blocks over off to the side, like this. And so mowing the lawn has 1 block. And when I accomplish that, I check that sucker off. All right. And so each week, you can title it however you want to. Maybe your quest is just your name and your quest of awesomeness, or leveling up your summer, or whatever. All right. It's yours. And so this is how we're going to write them out. Now, for your first quest sheets, we'll talk about this later. I'm going to recommend that you have 10 quests that you're tracking, and we'll talk a little bit more about that going forward. But this is sort of what we're aiming at. We're going to get a list together of things that we're tracking each week that we want to get better at. All right? So, on to the next step. Step 2.